Ezeagu, Man City plays Nottingham this weekend. It would be stupid of me to say, well, what do you think is going to win? But what do you think of Man City this season?
I mean, they've continued the form, right? So, they're the best team in the world for sure. I would probably say by a margin, to be honest. But with God, all things are possible. They will fall.
Meaning you want them to lose?
Of course. I'm an Arsenal fan. I want them to lose. They should lose, and they will lose eventually. They will drop points.
But who would you say? This is Man City without Kevin De Bruyne, right? I would say at some point you would think that maybe they'll drop points or something, but so far it doesn't feel like they'll drop any points.
Yeah, I mean, we're still hoping. What I think we know though is that KDB makes them a slightly the lack of KDB makes them a slightly less
Potent side.
Yes. So I will bank on that, and hopefully sooner rather than later they will drop a couple points, and they will.
Okay.
Fingers
They're the only team with 100% record right now. They've won their last 5 games. One thing I've also noticed is that when they go into like half time, you realize that maybe they're losing the game or maybe they're drawing the game, and then there's something Pep just says to them that magically transforms. What do you think is going on in that dressing room during at halftime?
In my own opinion, in my own view, I'd say first of all, Pep is a known winner. So that character alone, as in the dressing room, to me, I feel for him to just, how will I put it, like
have a conversation with them,
and
it motivates them.
Motivation, right? So I feel that alone is an edge for them. Okay, look at their midweek game. Everybody was like, Man City they lose, Man City they lose. But left to me, I know that there will be a turnaround.
Yeah.
There will be, and it's obvious, it's certain. But there's one guy everybody's not looking at, and that guy is Alvarez, Julian Alvarez.
Oh yeah.
That guy makes a lot of difference in that team.
Yeah.
And if you see the formation on papers, he played behind Haaland. That's where De Bruyne comes in, right? So I feel for now they are not really missing De Bruyne. Maybe that final pass is what we can say is not really coming in. But aside that, everything is working for them well.
Amika, would you say that they're the best team in the league right now, based on performance?
Yeah, 100%. Even just based on they've been the best team in the league for a couple of years now, haven't they? Right. It's just that now they are taking what we know and they are just completely extending it to another level. They won the treble last season.
True.
Let's not forget. They are by far the best team in the league, by far.
Do you think Nottingham Forest, with all their signings, can cause just a little bit of an upset?
I mean, there's a chance because it's the Premier League, and then that low block is always an issue, right? When teams like Nottingham Forest set up, that low block is always a big problem, and they don't have KDB to
unlock.
Yes, to unlock those with those 2 passes. So there's a chance that will always happen. Is it likely? No, it isn't. But is there a chance? Yes, there is, and I would hope on that chance that it happens.
Okay, Burnley, Manchester United. Your team is playing tomorrow.
Okay,
what do you think?
Let me be frank with you guys.
Yeah.
Let me be frank with you guys. My prediction is a straight draw. Right. So, but if anything would come true, maybe 0-1.
Where is it? Zero Trafford?
No,
it's
at
Toughmore.
Toughmore.
Toughmore. So I feel, to me, it's a straight draw because Burnley is not playing bad at all. If you see them, they are actually a ball-playing side.
Yeah.
More or less like Brighton, but maybe
they don't have the experience and
final result is not coming forth for them. But they're actually not a bad side. And where I realized they are not a bad side was when we played against them in the FA Cup. That was after the World Cup, January. They actually outplayed Man U at a point in time, right in
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, yeah. So Burnley is not a bad side. Even the first game against Man City they played, Man City had to sweat it out to get the 3 points. So they're actually not a bad side. And don't be surprised they can get the 3 points out of Manchester United. Don't be surprised because we are not actually playing well.
What do you think is the problem with Man U
I
at
don't
this
think
point?
I'll be surprised.
Yeah. What do you think is the problem with Man U at this point?
My own personal observation about Man U's problem is we are not. Let me say we are not actually marking who is meant to be marked. The second goal against Bayern, Serge Gnabry, was actually a free man
Yeah,
in the 18-yard box.
that's true.
That was Lindelof to mark him. So, okay, there are 4 different analyses that came against Man U. First of all was Odegaard's quick reply against Man U. It was like almost free. Second was Danny Welbeck against Brighton. Joao Pedro, same in Brighton's game, and that of Serge Gnabry. So these are facts.
They're literally taking like penalties
Yeah,
because it's right.
right.
It's right in front of.
Even Pascal Gross's goal,
Yeah,
right, is also similar to what we are saying.
yeah.
There's always this free man. So it now boils down to everybody saying, Onana. No, it's not Onana's fault. Because there's this statistics I came across before Bayern's game. He has faced 40 shots and he has actually saved over half of those shots, unlike compared to De Gea, which faced lesser than that and conceded more. So I won't blame Onana. No, I think it's the defense. The partnership in the defense is not that concrete at all. So there's a loophole. So my own observation is that the marking is not
As great.
Is not top notch at all.
Do you see? Emeka, do you see any hope for Man U this weekend?
I mean, yeah, they can come out on top in Burnley, but like you said, I think Man U currently now is Man U is a free for all. And anybody, if they come up against anybody, I reckon they would feel good that whatever opponent they come against would feel good that they could get something from Manchester United, and that is just the way it is now, right? They're not a top 4 side, they're not a top 5 side. Certainly, I would say they're probably a top 6 side. So, or even not the top 6 side, mine is closer to his top 7, top 8. Than
Given current form.
Yes, giving correct form. Even at the end of the season, I don't expect going the way they have started. I don't expect them to be number 5 or number 6. I think they'll probably be maybe it's number 6, number 7, number 8. But I'm still not expecting them 1 to 5 for sure.
Wow. Okay. And one thing that a lot of people have also said is the lack of like leadership in the Man U team. Right. Bruno Fernandes is the captain of the team, but obviously we know he's theatrics, right? Maguire is someone that has been left out of the team.
He's the leader, though.
Yeah, and he was stripped of the captaincy. Casemiro, who is also a decorated player, has been found wanting. Eriksen has been found wanting, right? It just seems like players like Rashford, those players have not really come out to say, what, I want to take leadership, and I want to make sure everything is like coming together. It feels like they're just doing what they want. They're not playing together as a team, and everyone is just running around, right? What do you think should, at this point, right, take that mantle and say, what, guys, this is how we need to play.
Just Bain, but it has to be Rashford, I think. But I think that United should just pivot. The days of trying to build around Rashford is over. He's just not a level of player, frankly. He just isn't. Not if you want to get to a certain place. Rashford is not a guy that will take you there. So I would say Rashford would be the one to step up, to be fair, because he's been there for a while. But is he good enough to do it? I have my questions about that. I really doubt it. How old is he? 26?
Yeah, 25, 26.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that he's the way to go.
Okay. Finally, let's look at one of the biggest games this weekend. 4 wins, 1 draw for both teams. Right. I mean, you're an Arsenal fan. I'm also an Arsenal fan, as you can probably see, right? what do you think about this game? Who do you think is going to win this game at the end of
It's
the day?
it's one of those interesting games. I think. I think that it can set up any club that wins. It could set them up for like a long, good run for the season. That said, I expect Arsenal to come on top. Tottenham doesn't really ever win, and Arsenal is a different animal entirely to whatever Tottenham has played this season. Arsenal is a very different team. Arsenal is built different. Arsenal has worked themselves to be in a certain place. And then there's something else. If you watch the game, the Champions League game on Wednesday,
Yes, PSV.
the PSV team tried to come out to play, and Arsenal is built for those kind of situations. Teams that actually want to come out to play. So it will be interesting to see how well Tottenham can defend. It will be interesting to see how well Tottenham can be. It will certainly be ill-advised to try and go out to go and play Arsenal. I don't think that would be a wise way to go. I expect Arsenal to win the game handily.
Okay. Arsenal's last game was against Manchester United, and you saw. Sorry, two games ago.
Okay.
Arsenal played Manchester United like about 2 weeks ago, the last two games was Manchester United, and you saw, how they played, how compact they were, you've also seen Tottenham. You guys played Manchester United played Tottenham. Man U lost 2 goals to 0. Looking at both games, right? Who do you think would take the day? Who do you think would win at the end of 90 minutes?
I'd rather see the share Spurs.
You would rather see?
Yeah. But funny enough, both teams are on good run of form. Yeah, so whoever wins. But I would like them to share Spurs. Yeah.
Is that from your own? That's your own personal wish.
Yeah, personal wish.
But what do you based on performances, right?
Based on performances, obviously Arsenal, because any season, any day, any time for the past 4 seasons now, Arsenal has not lost to Tottenham.
Spurs.
Yeah, so I feel that should be what they should bank on. So Tottenham are not doing bad also. And Postecoglou, or what's his name, is not doing bad also. So on paper, Arsenal should win this game. But for me, I go with a 2-2 draw. My own prediction, a 2-2 draw. Maybe Tottenham goes first, then Arsenal pull a comeback.
This man is already orchestrating what the game should look like. Okay, so there was a press conference just before. there was a statement Postecoglou said made before. He made today, I think, and the reporter asked him, is he going to change the style of play, right? And he said no. He said they're going to sort of like attack, Arsenal. They're going to play. What I'm seeing from Tottenham is very. Their game there's a lot of energy, right, in their game. They press and they want to press you to make mistakes.
For you to succumb.
Exactly, for you to succumb. And he's had a decent run of form. Just like you said, he was coach of the month.
Yeah.
And then their last game against Sheffield, they won 2-1, even though they scored the 2 goals in the dying minute of the game. Sorry. Looking at tactically, right? Do you think Postecoglou can outclass or outshine Arteta?
No. Why I say so is because he's actually playing for the first time at the Emirates. So I don't feel he has the atmosphere of how the Emirates looks like yet. So, but the only kudos I can just give to Tottenham with this run of form and that attack you're saying is there's this guy there. What's his name? James Maddison. Yeah. He has actually bringing that fire.
Yeah, he's been good.
Right. So, and this guy has actually been carrying them also without their main man, Harry Kane.
Yeah.
That's this man's son. So, if the two of them can just synchronize together like they have been doing in this game, I feel they should be able to go toe-to-toe with Arsenal, but not outclass Arsenal. No, not outclass Arsenal. In Arsenal's home.
I do think, for all the tough talk, I really do think that Arsenal would keep I think that Arsenal to keep Tottenham quiet. I feel like it's one of those games where
Keep them at bay.
keep them quiet. Yes, I feel like it's one of those games where Tottenham will rarely see Arsenal's goalkeeper. I really think that's how the game will go.
Well, you're really confident.
Yeah, there's a way Arsenal structures, that the way they set themselves up to play, that they make teams that look they just keep them at one point. So I don't think that Tottenham has the incisiveness or the way Arsenal structures, even just from that midfield. I don't think Tottenham has.
Sorry, let me come in. With what you just said now, there's this question I want to ask. With the way you guys are structured in the midfield, but why is it that whenever you guys play Pep Guardiola, it's not applicable?
So it wasn't I would say it wasn't applicable up until this season. It has this season. If you watch the FA Cup, the Community Shield, what happened in the Community Shield was basically a game of chess. Like if you look at the way Arsenal, if you watch the game against City, the way they were moving defensively, the way they were moving in blocks defensively, whenever City had the ball moves here, a bunch of players move here. The ball, it looked like something of a chess game. And another thing I would say is that Arsenal hasn't played City up until the FA Cup game with a first team squad. Like Saliba, I don't think had ever played Ireland up until that Community Shield game.
Yeah.
So those things still matter when everybody is present and is playing. And it's a different
Hopefully,
game. This season, if Arsenal was playing City tomorrow instead of Tottenham, I would feel much better than I felt.
Much more comfortable.
Yes, much more comfortable than I felt last season at any point when we're playing them. So that's the.
So Faria is going for a 2-2 draw, right?
Yes.
I mean, he wants a 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
What do you think the scores will be at the end
I
of
think
90
it'll be
minutes?
2-0.
Okay.
I think it'll be 2-0. I think it'll be one of those just score again and then keep passing the ball around and keep chasing it.
Okay, sorry, clean sheet. So is it David Raya or
That's a very good question. I
Ramsdale?
think
That's a good question.
I think Raya starts tomorrow.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Raya starts.
What do you think Arteta has sort of like seen that is making him make that choice to say Raya over Ramsdale? Because Ramsdale wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
I think last season it was probably the third on the list with
in
the
the
clean
rankings,
sheets.
yeah.
In the rankings.
Yeah.
So what do you think Arteta is? Because it seems like Arteta is looking for perfection.
He's looking for, there's a calm that Raya brings into that back four that, frankly, Ramsdale doesn't have. There's that calmness, and he allows, and composure. So with Raya, Arsenal is playing with an extra midfielder, essentially, so that if teams are charging, it's a waste of time, because within the defenders, you can just keep passing the ball around. And what that does is it completely demoralizes the team, and then you can look up and still ping the ball to some player, maybe Kai Havertz or something. So it gives Arsenal it makes Arsenal a more robust team in terms of what they can do, even from out back. They can really hurt you from out back. So I think that's what he sees with Raya. I do think it starts tomorrow for sure.
Okay, so and finally, what changes would you say you want to see, or you think that we would see in that team? So, I mean, I don't think, I think it's a no-brainer. Trossard will start for Martinelli. Yes. But in the midfield, do you want to see Havertz or Vieira?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. That is a very interesting question.
Because Vieira had his opportunity. Did he impress you when he came on?
This season he's been doing well. Like this season, I think this is the season he became an Arsenal player. I would want to see Havertz start.
Okay.
Yes, so the Arsenal has a bit more that he can do. So you can ping the ball if you feel like it,
and then he's one of those players.
And then he suits to being a spicy player that he is. Can set him free on the run and stuff.
So Jesus over Nketiah to start.
Jesus for sure over Nketiah.
Okay.
No chance.
All right, so I'll move over to the Chelsea game. Chelsea play Aston Villa. Chelsea have 1 win and 2 draws. And I think Aston Villa have I think they won 2 of their games. I'm not too sure. They've been playing interesting football. They had a very interesting summer. They signed Diaby. They had really good signings. Their preseason was really good. They were scoring 2, 3, 4 goals in preseason. This season also hasn't been bad. Some of their games have been good. Or when you see like lack of concentration and a few things will just make them lose the game. Chelsea, on the other hand, right? I mean, apologies to Chelsea fans, but nothing to write them about.
Yeah.
There is no rhythm. What do you think is the problem right now at Chelsea?
No, Chelsea. Okay, to start with, I'll say let's give them time. But at the same time, too, time is ticking. Right? So,
But that's the same thing people said about Graham Potter. Let's give him time.
okay, the difference now between Potter and Pochettino is that one good thing for Chelsea is that they are not playing any continental games, only domestic games. So I feel that gives them enough time and the coach enough time to think of who is actually his first 11, right? Maybe they can be hosting some few friendly games during the midweek when other teams are playing their continental games. So I don't know, but I feel with too much or too many signings they've made, Pochettino can't actually actualize who his first 11 is. So for now, there's no redeem, nothing to write home about for them. So the problem with Chelsea is maybe too many players. That's what I feel. Too many players and that demands to play. Unlike the likes of Arsenal, Man City, that okay.
You know
the
your
squad,
first 11.
Yeah, the squad depth. If this guy goes injured, there's an ASAP replacement for him. Unlike Chelsea, if, for instance, if Enzo goes off, who is the actual replacement for him, right? Jackson has been playing in week in, week out. If he goes injured, who is actually his replacement? What's it called? He played Kowi left back last game. So he has not actually gotten his main 11 yet. So with Chelsea playing this way, it will be hard for them until there's this little momentum that they can just get and maybe bank on it. But for now, I don't see them getting themselves yet.
So another thing, I mean, something you said was it needs time.
Yeah.
How much time is enough,
That's
right?
it.
Because you have 38 games in a season.
Yeah.
We're already 5-6 games in. Is it till we get to middle of the season that they would have to make a decision to say, yo, look, this is not working? Or, how much time would you say is enough time? How much time would you like to give him?
Left to me. If we can give him time, we can give him between, this is match day 6, if I'm not mistaken. So if we can just give him till match day 12.
That's 12 games in.
Yeah, 12 games in. Yeah,
So
at least if
12 to 15 games.
Yeah,
Let's see what they can do.
Let's see the direction they are moving towards. Then for Aston Villa, you can't predict them.
Yeah.
Because ever since they lost to Newcastle, their opening game, they've been firing. The duo of this Jamaican guy, Bailey and Watkins.
And even Diaby.
Even Diaby, they are like two-edged sword. They can pierce through.
Yeah.
So if your defense is almost snoozing or more, they'll come there. So these guys are actually firing. Unfortunately for them, they lost yesterday. I don't know, maybe.
Even Brighton lost yesterday.
Yeah, Brighton lost. I was not surprised.
That was a shocking one.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't surprised.
Why?
I wasn't. I feel maybe they've not had that experience of
playing
European game yet. Because the first goal they scored, according to commentator, because I watched it at home, first goal they scored, it was like an historic goal for them. Yeah, first ever goal
in Europe.
So unlike Aston Villa, they've scored couples of goals. They've had enough. They've had enough time in Europe, so it's not a new thing for them. It's just like maybe I feel they underrated their opponents and got what they got yesterday. So, but for that result, it's an eye-opening for them that come on, Chelsea is not what we should just overlook. We have to just sit tight for this fixture.
How much time is enough time for Pochettino?
The problem with the Premier League now is that a lot of things are happening so fast and the matches are so tight that I don't think you have 10 games to tinker. The next thing you know, you're sitting comfortably in 16th position. The next thing you know, right? And then
I think they're 13th right now.
And they'll have to let you go to protect yourself. There are strong teams, Man City and the likes, but on the average, there are a lot of very good teams that can compete with themselves. So you have to really get your stuff up, all right? Because there's a real chance that you might be struggling with 17th position for your club. So you have to really, really, really get your stuff right.
They're playing in front of their fans at Stamford
I
Bridge.
don't think it matters this time around. I don't think so. It doesn't like these days. It doesn't. What the club used to weigh, what the stadium used to weigh at the point is severely diluted, especially over the last 2 seasons. Absolutely diminished. I don't think that anybody goes to Stamford Bridge thinking, "Oh my goodness, what a fortress!" I think people are going there just go and win, come out, which you couldn't say the same for Etihad or Anfield when they were hard. So.
There was this meme over the weekend where with people increasing the posts for Jackson
Yeah, I saw that.
to be able to score.
I
Right?
saw that.
I think we're
Yeah,
increasing
they
by
still didn't score.
almost 300%.
Didn't score.
300%, and man,
Still didn't
you
score.
know, found it difficult to, you know, they brought him in to, I think he's Ivorian also, right? And they brought him in so that, because they're trying to, you know, leave that Didier Drogba, one of their
No,
legends.
I think it's Senegalese.
Is it Senegalese? Oh yes, I think Senegalese. Sorry, and you know, first time I saw him, you know, play. The next week I bought him my FPL because I thought this guy was, you know, an absolute baller, and they didn't teach me. No one had to tell me. I had to, you know, take him out of. But when do you think this Chelsea team, if you think they'll ever click? When do you think they'll click?
Maybe 3 seasons from now.
Wow. Jesus.
I do not think that they'll click this season.
I know that you'll be sarcastic.
No, but I don't think they have ideas. That's just the thing. I don't think they have ideas.
So is it the coach or the players?
It is the coach and the players. I think that it is the coach and the management. I think that is like a club, there has to be a structure. Nobody just goes out and buys 11 players, like Ola said the other day, right? Like you have to have mapped out what you want to do and then start finding the pieces to. The problem Chelsea has is that it doesn't look like they have a map of what they want to do. It just looks like the moment Arsenal says they want to play, they go to get it because they know they have the economic resource to do, but they have absolutely no plan for that player. But the reason why at Arsenal, Mikel Arteta would ask for a player is because I've seen specifically in my puzzle where I want to put him in. Chelsea doesn't have that luxury, they don't have that time. So I don't think, I'm not making a joke when I say they won't
3 seasons from now.
this season.
Unai Emery is looking for a back-to-back win at Stamford Bridge, right? Which is something that I think he struggled to do that while he was at Arsenal, right? With the new set of players and with the mindset that they have, do you think they can steal a win at Stamford Bridge?
Yes, I do think so. Again, like I said, Stamford Bridge is no longer special, so I think they can still win for sure.
Yeah.
It's not where you go to and then, when they had like a run of form and it's just like they can win you 1-0 and then you really even sniff a keeper, you really get a goal to score. I don't think Stamford Bridge is any of that. I reckon anybody that goes to Stamford Bridge will fancy themselves the opportunity to beat an ex-big side. Because that's what Chelsea is now. Should basically shell out themselves.
Okay. All right. I think that's it.